Okay, so anyway, so that's how I was like feeling about the book. My friend at the time, she bought it. She was severely disappointed because it was like a $60 book. Um, and as someone who has like a couple $50 books, I understand like the pressure of making sure that people like your book when it's that expensive. Like I worry all the time about my books and my stories, and I really want people to like them and think that they're worth the value. Um, Not only was it my friend, but like I had a few other people that I talked to who felt that the value of the book was not there. That doesn't mean Witchfoot couldn't have written it or she shouldn't have written it or whatever. I understand modern printing. Trust me, my books are expensive because of modern printing. So like I understand everything that went into the book, all of the reasons why it was the way it was. But that doesn't mean I and other people can't express their disappointment. And just because we have our opinion or I have my opinion does not mean that it's a personal attack against you or anyone else. I was criticizing her and her book, and I like just I'm allowed to do that. Like, hey, I don't fully understand the hype, and guess what? People don't understand the hype about me, and that's totally fine. I don't like I don't care. I didn't realize how much social media and Witchfoot herself would care about my critique. Because here's the thing, if someone criticizes my book, I want a conversation with them about how I can make it better. Well, what didn't you like? How could I make it better? And then I'm going to sit with it for myself and be like, okay, well, I hear your criticisms and I honestly couldn't have made it better. Or I hear you and I'm going to do better next time. Or maybe I'm going to edit and re-release a new edition. It depends on how the conversation goes. And sometimes you just have to let other people's opinions like roll off your shoulders, right? That couldn't happen. That was part of what I was talking about when it came to like Witchfoot and the whole thing. I felt like it was really gross at how many fans attacked me in defense of her. And I have fans, I have friends and people who really support me, who I guess go after other people and defend me. I don't think there's anything wrong with defending people. It was the way it was done. It was all of the things. Like, it wasn't just people saying like, hey, I think you like, no one was selling me on Witchfoot. In fact, they made me hate her more. Like, at first I just didn't like her, I just didn't agree with her, but then it became this like anger and hatred because of how people were acting and then how she responded. And then how everyone like picked every other part of me apart because of it. And I was like, I just didn't like her book. I don't like her content. I feel like there's something more going on here, and that's my opinion. If you don't see it, if you don't feel it, you don't believe it, it's fine. She is not in alignment with me. She's in alignment with you, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is just, everyone had a comment, and it was a thing like, hey, what do you think about this? So I put out what I think about it. Do not ask me what I think about something if you don't want to hear it, because I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel to the most personal metaphor I can possibly come up with. And I never said that Witchfoot wasn't a knowledgeable witch. I think how I worded it gave an impression. I just don't think she was as authentic and accurate as she presented herself. I don't think a lot of people are. I try my very best to present myself as genuinely as possible. I think when you're creating content, you miss the mark sometimes because you're being creative. It's an expression of you, but it's not fully you. But I try to talk on social media to like I would be talking to you at an event, which is why I don't like talking on social media and like recording myself. I feel like a lot of things get, because you don't feel me, you don't see me. And even when I'm talking genuinely, when I rewatch my video, something gets lost in translation. It like filters you out somehow in cyberspace. It's really weird. But yeah, so I've been reflecting on that a lot, because like a big part of also what I was talking about is it wasn't just her, but there's a lot of other big time witch talk creators. Right when Pluto shifted into Aquarius, these big time authentic creators they got banned. They all got banned within the same couple weeks, and they had to fight appeals, and they had to do this. And it's like, well, these creators get banned on and off all the time, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, no, like, this is a shift. And I was just talking about it. I was like, I think it's very interesting that certain creators, something happened to them, and then at that same time, I get attacked, which I also think is a synchronicity and a connection to that Pluto and Aquarius shift. And I think it's highlighting authentic creators versus inauthentic creators. Because regardless of how you feel about me, I said what I said. I felt how I felt. And I dealt with it how I dealt with it. It's been, 2-3 years. I've come out of it in some interesting ways. But every now and then, like, I sit with those reflections, whether it's the mouse or the birds or the spider or Witchfoot, or I can't remember other things. I've not been popular on this app for who I am. I have been popular on this app for my artwork, and not me, but people want to get to know me, and then they don't really care for me. And a big part of this journey has been being like truly like soul core locked in, being okay with that. Because at the end of the day, I do want people to like me. I want people to like my work. I want people to like my art. I want to engage in fun conversations. I want community. But I'm a difficult person to build that with because I am opinionated. And I don't tend to back down on my opinions. But I also like people who are the same way. My husband and I disagree. We are polar opposites. We disagree all the time. But I still have one of the best marriages I could ever have, and that's because I really embrace my husband being a unique individual, and he embraces me being a unique, authentic individual. And it's really fun being with someone when you enjoy them for the unique flower that they are, instead of trying to conform them into thinking the way that you think. And so that's been like a big thing through social media is, ever since I started my business and I really started putting my voice out there, I have felt this pressure to conform and to fit in with the narrative, which a lot of creators do. You see it on the trends all the time. And I have done my very best to refuse. I have fallen a few times. I have stepped in line just to step right back out. It's been quite a journey. So anyway, this is getting long again. I'm very verbose, so I'm going to do a part 4.